And the second story, in as little as 2 days, another delivery driver has been the victim of an attempted robbery. And what's going on with this one is a pizza delivery guy went to take out a pizza, and when he got there, the supposed customer pulled out a handgun, but much to the attempted robber's surprise, he ended up being shot multiple times and being killed by his would-be victim.
Police say the man who was killed was one of two people who tried to rob the driver at gunpoint. It happened just after midnight at an apartment complex on Yellowstone Boulevard near 288. The other suspect ran away after the driver shot his alleged accomplice. They are still looking for that second suspect.
Now, what's really interesting about this story is during the research phase of it, I found a USA Today article. And in that article, it said that the driver was accused of shooting the attempted robber multiple times and killing him. And then it goes on to describe the robber as the victim of the shooting.
What?
And what's even more interesting about this is this article, which we'll put in the description below, also had an interview with the deceased brother, who is quoted as saying he was a pizza delivery guy. Why was he armed? Well, I hate to tell your brother, but the reason why he was armed was this exact reason, is because he went out to make a delivery, and what he probably presumed was a crime-riddled area. Someone tried to carjack him or steal his wallet or take his money or even just get a free pizza, and pulled a gun on this guy, who he did expect to be armed, because with these delivery services, it's against policy for you to be armed. And in the cases of DoorDash and Uber and these other ones that we've talked about, you're not even allowed to have pepper spray or a taser. So this guy didn't listen to those rules. He was armed. He pulled out his pistol and he shot the would-be robber multiple times, killing him.
Now, he's a hero.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This guy is a hero in his own right because he took his personal safety into his own hands, which is exactly what these delivery drivers do every single day. You cannot expect them to go out and deliver stuff to unknown people in unknown areas. And many times, a lot of these apps, when you're doing the delivery, they show exactly where you are from the time you pick up the order to the time you make delivery. So wherever you're going to, if they're trying to set you up, they know down to the second when you're going to get there. Say you're 2 minutes out, they got 2 minutes to prepare and set up for you. So when you show up, they can take your car, they can take your wallet, whatever cash you might have on you. You're going to be the victim. So why is it that these places continue to let you be a victim? Now, it has a lot to do with policies. We know that these businesses are not pro-gun by any means. I don't know personally if they're anti-gun either. I haven't looked into their finances to see who they donate money to. But we do know that from their policies of no firearms, no taser, no pepper spray, no nothing, that they have a strict anti-self-defense policy, and that's what it really is against you defending yourself.
Because of that policy, if he'd have followed it, he'd have been dead.
That's exactly right. If he had followed that policy, this particular individual may have very well ended up dead. The would-be robber could have very well shot him and just took his stuff. And he might have shot him for nothing, actually. He might have just shot him for the fun of it. But the tables were turned. Now, this comes down, I'm sure, to an insurance liability thing as well. If insurance companies are going to say it's too much of a liability for drivers to be armed, when do we hit the other side of this coin? When is it too much of a liability for these drivers not to be armed because they're becoming victims? Sure, you might have apps that help promote your safety by sending your location and where you're going to be at to friends and family, and they may even check on you whenever you don't check in after a certain period of time. But that goes back to whatever was going to happen in that time frame, it's already happened. The only thing that the cops are going to do when they show up is they're going to be the cleanup crew for whatever's left. And that's exactly right. Yeah, exactly. You know, you're just the cleanup crew for whatever's happened, because whatever has happened in the first 30 seconds. It's done, it's over. No police response is going to get there in 30 seconds, even if you had a heads up to what was going to happen. They're not going to get there in time. The only person who can guarantee your safety is yourself. So if you're one of these jobs, it may be against policy. I'm not telling you to break their rules. I'm not telling you to break the law. In some places, it may even be illegal for you to carry.
They should look into changing that.
That's right. Any politician who's involved with making it to where you can't carry a firearm when you're in a delivery type of service and you're out by yourself and you're working for a corporation who is making tremendously more money than you, they're not paying you hazard pay to deliver down in the ghetto. They're not paying you hazard pay to go to a crime-riddled area. And even if they were, who wants to do that? I don't want to go out there and deliver Chick-fil-A to some guy in the middle of a crime-riddled area because I don't want to be a victim. And that's why I choose to carry every day. You know, not all men are created equal, but the firearm makes everyone equal. Samuel Colt made sure of that. So if you're out there and you have any questions about your ability to defend yourself, go out, get a firearm, defend yourself, get training, make sure you know how to use it. Any firearm should be a direct extension of your own body. That's how well you need to know it if that is a weapon that you are depending on to save your life. So make sure that you get trained and carry, because at the end of the day, this could be the difference between you coming home to go to sleep that night or going to a morgue.